Our Christmas party shimmered with warm lights, soft carols, and the smell of cinnamon drifting through every corner of our home. Guests laughed, snapped photos, and toasted to the holidays. Everything looked perfect. My wife looked stunning in a deep emerald dress, her skin glowing under the golden lights. For a moment, I let myself hope this night might heal us, reconnect us. But beneath her smile, something felt off. A stiffness, a distracted energy, like she was waiting for someone she didn't want me to notice. And every time her phone buzzed in her hand, she angled the screen away from me with a nervous flicker in her eyes. The moment suspicion became reality. Then the door opened and he walked in, the man she called her old friend, the one she insisted I shouldn't worry about. The moment their eyes met, something sharp and unspoken passed between them. They didn't speak, didn't wave, didn't hug, but the silence between them said more than any greeting ever could. She kept glancing toward him, biting her lip, twisting her ring, unable to stay still. I watched her from across the room. The restless pacing, the deep breaths, the way she fixed her hair whenever he moved closer. Every instinct in me whispered the same thing. She's hiding something. And tonight is the night it slips out. The disappearing act. Half an hour later, my wife leaned in close to me, too close, too sweet, too rehearsed, and whispered that she needed to check on the dessert in the kitchen, but she didn't walk toward the kitchen. She walked down the hallway toward the back rooms, her steps too quick, too determined, and 30 seconds later, he followed her. No hesitation, no excuses, no attempt to be discreet. My stomach nodded, my breath caught, and the warm, festive glow of the house instantly felt poisonous. I counted each second, each heartbeat, each sign screaming at me that something was wrong. And then I walked after them. The door that should have stayed closed. The hallway was darker, quieter, colder, like the air itself knew what I was about to find. I heard voices, soft and tense, coming from the guest room. Her voice trembled. His was sharper, angrier. I pressed my ear against the door and the world around me froze. "You said tonight," he hissed. "You promised you'd talk to him," my wife whispered. "Not here. Not now, please." My blood ran cold. A promise, a plan. A secret conversation behind my back. At our home, at our Christmas party. I pushed the door open slowly, silently, with a calm I didn't recognize in myself. Caught in the act, but not the act I expected. They weren't kissing. They weren't touching. But the way she jumped away from him, the way he glared at her, the way her hands shook, it was worse than physical cheating. It was emotional betrayal, secret plans, late-night conversations she never told me about. My wife's eyes widened with terror when she saw me standing there. And not the guilt I expected. Terror. A terror that told me whatever she was hiding wasn't just a stupid mistake. It was a whole double life she'd kept buried beneath smiles and excuses. The lie begins to crack. I stepped inside, shutting the door behind me. The man stiffened, straightening his shirt like he had something to defend. My wife stuttered. This isn't what it looks like." The oldest line in the book. But her voice broke mid-sentence, and tears filled her eyes. Not sweet tears, not innocent tears, but the tears of someone whose lies are collapsing faster than they can rebuild them. He whispered harshly, "Just tell him you owe him that much." And for the first time, she couldn't look at me, not even for a second. The secret relationship. "Tell me what?" My voice was low, calmer than it had any right to be. She swallowed hard, staring at the floor. We talked for a while. Before the party, before tonight. My heart pounded. How long? Silence. A silence that answered everything. Too long. Long enough to destroy trust. Long enough to hide messages, delete calls, create excuses, build lies. I looked at him, his jaw tightened. "She told me you two were basically done," he whispered. My wife gasped, shaking her head violently. "I never said that, but she had." I could see it written all over her face. The threat that changed everything. Then he said something that shifted the entire room. "If you don't leave him tonight, I'm showing him everything." He pulled out his phone. Threats, chats, photos, screenshots, all the evidence of their affair, emotional or physical, I didn't know yet. But it didn't matter. My wife broke down completely, grabbing his arm, begging him not to ruin her life. She didn't defend me. She didn't deny anything. She didn't even look at me. She begged him. And in that moment, the betrayal cut deeper than anything I'd imagined because she wasn't scared of losing him. She was terrified of losing me. The husband who stayed quiet. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't ask questions. She'd lie to answer. I just stepped closer, gently moved her hands off his arm, and whispered, "Come here." She froze, shocked that I wasn't exploding. She took one step toward me as if she still believed she could fix this. I cupped her face, wiped her tears, and whispered in her ear, "You should have been honest before tonight." For a moment, she softened into my hands like she still belonged there, like she still believed I would fight for her. The twist she never saw coming. Then I stepped back, pulled out my own phone, and revealed what neither of them knew. I had already seen every message, every deleted chat, every hidden number, every late-night conversation. I had installed software on her phone 2 weeks ago when her behavior shifted. I had watched the whole thing unfold quietly. I had waited for this exact moment. The moment she would lie to my face one final time. And now, with both of them frozen in shock, I pressed play on a recording. Her voice whispering to him. "After Christmas, after the holidays, I'll talk to him. I swear." The room shattered. The destruction begins. My wife collapsed on the floor, sobbing, shaking, begging for forgiveness. The man stepped back, realizing this wasn't going to end in his favor. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't touch him. I simply looked him dead in the eyes and said, "Leave now." Something in my tone made him listen instantly. As soon as he walked out, my wife reached for my hand. Desperate, terrified, broken, but I stepped back. The look on her face when I denied her touch was worse than any scream, any slap, any revenge. It was the moment she realized she had already lost the husband's final strike. I walked to the door, then paused. "By the way," I said softly, "I already moved your bags." She blinked, confused. "What?" I looked at her with a calm she couldn't handle. "Your clothes, your things, everything. They're already in your car." Her lips trembled. "Please, please don't do this." But I wasn't done. I stepped closer, whispered one final blow in her ear. "You didn't just lose me tonight. You exposed who you really are." Then I opened the door to the hallway. The entire party standing there, silent, shocked, having heard almost everything. My wife's world collapsed in front of 50 witnesses. And I walked away without looking back. The only calm man in a house full of chaos she created.